system that we've ordered. It's got some bits and pieces in here. I'm just going to look at fitting this up to the trailer today. We've got some instructions. So we'll have a read through these and get started. So Jack's going to give me a hand today to install these. He's just pulled out the spring out of the shaft here. Okay, so we've got these laid out. They're meant to be mounted on the top rail of a sort of a side trailer. So this is my trailer here. What I want to try and do is it's a split rear ramp. So I want to mount them just to one ramp, and I'm hoping that they'll take the weight of this ramp and I only have to mount one, but I'm not sure yet. I'm going to have to test that out. But I've got high sides on my trailer, so I can't mount them up here because they're just too high. The cable's not going to be long enough. It's just not going to work properly. So the distance from there to there. So what we need to do is just mount a bracket. I think we're going to have to mount 4 brackets because the attachment points are underneath. So I've seen other guys mount them to their trailers, but they use a bracket sort of all the way through, like an piece of angle. I'm just going to mount some angle brackets on here, space them out according to the mounting points. I'll mark them out where they need to be mounted. There's one here, and there's also another couple here. So this is section here that needs to go on as well. So that'll have to be mounted on there. So we're going to have to go and get some steel brackets and some nuts and bolts so we can mount this to the inside of the trailer. So I'll duck up to Bunnings and we'll grab some nuts and bolts and some hopefully we'll be able to find some metal brackets that we can attach to the inside of this trailer. It's not going to be too bad. I think most of the fixings will actually be hidden inside this toolbox. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. I think they'll be hidden in the on the inside of that box, except for maybe this one here. We may have a nut there, but might be able to paint it or something, make it sort of blend in. So that's where we're up to, guys. Just down here, just looking for some brackets. So should be able to find some brackets in here. I think, guys, we need 50 by 50. So they look like they might do the job. So we need to grab 8 of these, I think. Yep, 8 brackets. So we'll just grab these out. Alright, so we've got all our brackets and fixings. We've got some nuts, bolts and washers. So we just need to measure out our spacings for this and where we're going to mount the brackets. So we'll just do that now. We'll just work out our spacings and drill some holes and mount the brackets. Alright, so we just got this first side one mounted. We've just loosely done up the nuts and just put that in place. So we've got those brackets up, and we're just going to start on this second tube here now. So we'll get that mounted and get the brackets on there now. Alright guys, so we've got these brackets mounted, but the issue we've got with these brackets is that the mounting hardware, so that bolt comes out too far, because we've also got to mount these nuts and bolts down in through here. So it's actually going to, if you look at that, it's going to foul that nut that comes down in through there. So we're just going to cut these off. We'll just trim these off with the grinder. We'll get that done now. Okay guys, so we've got to insert these because we're going to mount this to here. I'm not going to have any access to getting those pins in there, so I'm going to want to get the spring in place and these rollers in place before I mount this to our brackets. So that's the way I'm going to go about it. I'm going to actually put the spring in first because I've got to get access to the back of this thing as well, and that's going to be hard up against there, so I won't be able to access it. So I'm going to have to do things a little bit differently than what it would have been done if it was mounted to the top edge of an open trailer, but that's okay, we'll work it out. Yep, so you can pull that. What we'll do is we'll just hold that for a minute. Just hold that. Okay. So we've got this to the end here now. So we're going to be able to put through that. There's a pin that goes through that small spring and also this big spring. So we're going to put that through now. We've got our big pin and a couple of washers, and just shows you here in the instructions. Just has to go through the small spring and also the large spring as well, and that's the outside. That's how it's got to look. So you've got two washers and your pin, and it's got to go through those springs. We've got to get this mounted, this one here mounted first before we can put this pin through. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to mount this first. Okay guys, so the hardware that has come with them isn't going to work in our application because we're just using these thin brackets, and these are meant to go through sort of a trailer, like a rail on a trailer. That's what they're designed to be used for, and that's okay. We're going to use these instead. So we're just going to have to use this with a nylock nut. So we're just going to use a Nylex nut with that just to go on it, which will work out just fine. All right, so we've got all this loosely mounted, just finger tight. We're just going to go around and just tighten up these nuts now. We've got this in place, and we've got that lined up. We had to have a little gap here just because of our brackets and the location of our holes. So we'll have to get that sorted. Might have to make a little cover strip for that or something, just a little rubber thing. So we'll work out something for that as well. But we've also discovered that we didn't get any rollers. We didn't get the black plastic rollers with the kit. So we're going to have to chase them up and just see if we can get a order some rollers for this. We'll get some rollers sent out for this kit. Okay guys, so we just have to get the needle nose pliers into this one, just so we can get access to hold top of the nut. So if you want to do that up, Jack. Oh, hang on. Just hold it tight. It's going to be a bit tricky, this setup. Just wait. Alright, so we've got all these mounted on now. We've got the spring mounted in there. And down this end here, we just got to get these, order these things here. But now we've just got to attach this to the trailer gate and just get this adjusted properly. So we'll try that step now. So we're going to have to go back to using the cup heads because the spring's actually getting caught up on the square head of this, so it's just not working properly. So we've gone to Bunnings and bought some new cup head screws. So we've got these. Hopefully they're going to work okay. So we've just got to put these back into position. Then we'll test it and see how it goes. Alright, so we got it all fitted up. It came with, the kit came with these things here, and they weren't really secure enough for me to fix it to the mesh on the trailer ramp. So we bought just a D-shackle. So we just used the D-shackle and hooked that up like that. And works perfectly. Like it's easy to lift up. I'll get Jack will lift it up and put it down in a minute. He'll just do a demonstration. So come over here, Jack, and Jack will show you. He'll show you what it's like to so that's just going down, and then he'll just lift it up. How much easier would you say, Jack, it is to lift that that ramp up now?
A lot easier.
Heaps easier? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's made a massive difference on how just how easy it is to lower and lift that ramp. Just a simple spring setup. It's made a massive difference. So what we're going to do, maybe in another video, or we'll see, we're going to put that other spring, because we've got another spring on this side ramp as well. So we're going to put a spring and that cable on this side ramp. So that should make it a lot easier to manual lifting's an important thing in work. If you can minimize the amount of manual lifting you've got to do, it's it's really, really important. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and thanks very much to Jack for helping out with the video. Hopefully enjoying series 2. Please stay tuned for some more stuff that we're going to have coming out. Catch you later.